We're exactly 100 light years away from the most terrifying anomaly in the known universe. Our spacecraft, Milo, has just dropped out of the dark void 10 billion light years from Earth. At this extreme distance, our own sun would be completely invisible, nothing but dead, empty blackness. But look at the center of the frame. That is not a star cluster. That single piercing needle of white-hot fire is shining with the violent intensity of 140 trillion suns. It is an ancient, blinding beacon easily outshining thousands of entire galaxies combined. Watch the camera feed. The sheer force of the radiation hitting us is so aggressive that Milo's raw optical sensors are beginning to overload and blind themselves. To keep the lenses from physically melting in the deep freeze of space, the spacecraft is forcing its cameras to darken, blocking out 99.9% of the incoming light. Only now, through heavily filtered glass, can we begin to see its true terrifying shape. Milo is looking at a quasar, a cosmic hurricane of superheated gas screaming across the void. Even from 100 light years out, a distance so fast it would take humanity's fastest rocket millions of years to cross, the temperature on Milo's outer hull is already rising. And we are not stopping here. Milo is adjusting its course. We are flying straight into the fire. We have crossed the deep void. Milo is now exactly 1 light year away. At this distance, the blinding speck of light has expanded into a vast empire of cosmic violence, and we can finally see the true shape of the quasar's fury. Look above and below the central fire. Those towering structures dividing the darkness are not solid objects. They are twin pillars of raging plasma tearing into the infinite void for millions of light years. You're looking at relativistic jets, the largest and most destructive particle cannons in the natural universe. Despite being the ultimate devourer, this black hole is a remarkably messy eater. Its gravity is so extreme that it pulls in vastly more gas and star stuff than it can physically swallow at once. As this cosmic debris piles up, it spins. It generates magnetic fields so profoundly strong that they twist, snap, and coil like giant invisible springs. These magnetic springs violently rip millions of tons of superheated matter away from the black hole's mouth, firing it directly into the deep space at 99% the speed of light. These beams carry enough kinetic energy to punch through entire galaxies. They blow away gas clouds, halt the birth of new stars, and instantly sterilize any worlds unlucky enough to be caught in their path. And right now, Milo is flying directly alongside one. Through the lens, there is no sound. In the vacuum of space, this apocalyptic destruction happens in complete suffocating silence. But visually, the violence is overwhelming. Look at the edges of the camera feed. Space itself is beginning to distort. The environment here is no longer an empty vacuum. It is a raging hurricane of high-energy particles bleeding off from the jet. Thick streaks of white and purple energy violently whip past the camera lens. Every single one of those streaks is a lethal dose of radiation. The tension of the spacecraft's hull is immense. If Milo drifts even a fraction of a degree off its programmed course, if the edge of our spacecraft grazes that plasma beam for even a microsecond, the entire ship would not just melt, it would be instantly vaporized into a cloud of subatomic dust. There is no room for error. To survive, Milo must alter its trajectory. The spacecraft fires its thrusters, rolling violently to the side. We're diving down underneath the plasma jet, straight through the boiling storms of radiation. Milo is heading for the glowing heart of the beast, the accretion disk. We have survived the magnetic storms. Milo has broken through the upper atmosphere of radiation and leveled out. We are now drifting just 100 billion kilometers above the heart of the beast. Look at what lies beneath us. This is the accretion disk, the cosmic meat grinder. From Milo's perspective, it does not look like a ring in space. It looks like an endless, flat ocean of white and ultraviolet fire. It completely fills the horizon. But there is no oxygen here. This is not fire as we understand it on Earth. What you're looking at is the graveyard of a galaxy. Trillions of tons of gas, dust, and shredded star systems, all trapped in the black hole's immense gravitational pull. As this ocean of dead stars spirals downward toward the center, it spins at a massive fraction of the speed of light. The material becomes so densely packed that the atoms themselves begin to violently rub together. It is pure, unrelenting friction. That friction superheats this cosmic debris to temperatures of hundreds of thousands of degrees. The glow is so intense that if Milo's cameras weren't artificially darkened, the screen would instantly melt into a blinding white static. This ocean of boiling plasma is the source of the quasar's light, a beacon of death shining across the universe. But the blinding light is just a byproduct. The real monster is what lies in the center. As Milo pans the camera inward, the ocean of plasma abruptly stops. It gives way to a massive, perfectly spherical shadow, a hole in the universe. You're looking at the event horizon of Ton 618, and this is where the human mind begins to break down. Our brains are simply not equipped to process the terrifying scale of what is on your screen. That black circle in the center of the fire is 400 billion kilometers across. To understand how paralyzingly huge that is, imagine our entire solar system. Picture the blinding sun in the center. Now picture the Earth, then Jupiter, then Neptune, all the way out to the freezing dark orbit of Pluto. Now, take that entire system, our sun, our planet, and all the dark space in between, and drop it into the black void on your screen. It would vanish. It would disappear inside that shadow like a single drop of water falling into the Pacific Ocean. You could fit dozens of our solar systems inside that black sphere, side by side, with room to spare. This single shadow weighs as much as 66 billions of our suns. It is a leviathan of unprecedented scale. And Milo is not stopping. The thrusters are firing. We are leaving the safety of the disk and flying straight toward the edge of the shadow. We have left the blazing shores of the accretion disk. Milo is now suspended in the empty, terrifying space between the fire and the absolute dark. But as we push closer to the shadow, the fundamental laws of reality begin to violently break down. Watch the edges of the fire below us. The flat ocean of plasma no longer looks flat. It is curving upward in all directions, rising like a towering wall of light, wrapping around our spacecraft like a big glowing bowl. This is not a camera glitch. This is not an optical illusion. You're watching space itself physically bend. We have entered the region known as the photon sphere. Here, the gravitational pull of Ton 618 is so strong that it can force light itself into a permanent orbit. Photons of light, the fastest things in the universe, are trapped here in this sphere, endlessly circling the black hole like moons around a planet. If a human being were sitting on Milo's hull right now, looking straight ahead into the dark, the light from the back of their own spacesuit would orbit the black hole and hit them directly in the eyes. You would be able to see the back of your own head. And it is not just space that is breaking, it is time. Look at the distant stars warping and stretching behind the shadow. As Milo falls deeper into the gravity well, the flow of time itself is being crushed. Gravity is literally pulling on the fabric of time, stretching it to a breaking point. If we were standing on Earth right now, watching Milo through an unimaginably powerful telescope, the spacecraft would look like it had hit a wall. To us, back home, Milo would appear to be slowing down, moving at a torturous, freezing crawl. But through Milo's raw camera feed, everything seems perfectly normal. The thrusters are firing, the camera is recording. But the terrifying truth is, our timeline has violently detached from the rest of the universe. For every second that ticks by on Milo's internal clock, entire years are passing by in the outside world. If Milo's cameras were pointed back at Earth right now, we would watch generations of humanity live, age, and die in a matter of minutes. The universe outside is fast-forwarding into the future. But in here, in the shadow of the beast, Time is dying. We are trapped in the slow lane, falling toward a place where time stops completely. And the darkest part of the journey is still ahead. Before we take the final step, Milo rotates his camera to look back at the universe one last time. But the universe is dying before our very eyes. The gravity here is so agonizingly strong that it is physically fighting the light trying to reach Milo's lenses. As the light waves struggle to travel down into this infinite gravity well, they are stretched, pulled taut like an over-tightened string. This is gravitational redshift. As the light physically stretches, it loses its energy. The vibrant, comforting blues and whites of the cosmos are slowly bled out of existence, forced down into the lowest energy spectrums. You're watching the colors of the universe bleed to death. The deep, violent crimson eventually fades away into invisible infrared, and then nothing. One by one, the galaxies blink out. The sky above us goes completely, totally dark. There is no more universe. We are entirely cut off from the light of creation. There is only the void. The camera pans back down. We have arrived at the edge of the abyss. At this extreme proximity, the illusion of a sphere is entirely gone. Ton 618 is so incomprehensibly massive that its outer boundary simply stretches out like an endless flat floor of pure nothingness. A bottomless pit taking up our entire reality. This is the event horizon, the absolute limit of the known universe. Gravity is now absolute. To escape from this exact altitude, Milo would need to fire its engines and travel faster than the speed of light. But nothing in the natural universe can go faster than light. The trap has completely closed. There is no turning back, no amount of thrust, no advanced human technology could ever pull our spacecraft away from this black floor. Milo is caught in the silent grip of the beast. We are hovering quietly at the very threshold of existence, staring down into a place where all physical laws, all matter, and all logic simply cease to be. We have reached the end of the line.